Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, good morning, depending on your time zone. We're so glad you all have been able to come and join us today. Welcome. I'm Nikki Barron. I'm an Associate Dean of Admission at Hamilton College, and I'm also a Hamilton alum. I also coordinate our January admission program, and we are so excited to be joined by three terrific panelists this evening who are our partner programs for our January admission program. The goal of this evening is to give you some ideas of some possible ways that you can spend your fall before coming to join the Hamilton College community in January. Congratulations to all of you on your admission to Hamilton. We are so excited at the possibility that you will be joining our community next year, and also specifically excited that you'll be joining us in January. I think the January admission program is really a great program here at Hamilton. It's also a great opportunity for you to have a really great independent start to college in a very different way from many of your peers. But the goal of this evening is, again, to give you a great introduction to our three terrific partners who are going to give you information about their programs. I'll have them each introduce themselves as they begin their presentation, but they are here to give you an information session about their program. All three of these programs, if you pursue any of these three programs for your fall experience before coming to Hamilton, will give you a full semester's worth of credit. So I'm happy to talk more after this evening's program as each of you are preparing to think about how you're going to spend the fall. But I just want to turn it over without much further ado to our great partners here. I'm actually going to start by having them each introduce themselves, and then we'll launch right into the information sessions. So Devin, would you like to get started?
Sure. My name is Devin Foxall. I'm the VP for Enrollment at the School for Field Studies, based in New Hampshire. And I've been visiting Hamilton College now for the past 8 years, and it's one of my very favorite places to come to. I love the students.
That's great. Thank you. Christina, would you like to go next?
Hi, everyone. It's nice to see everybody, and it's nice to see some familiar faces from my email and our attendees this evening. I use the she, her set of pronouns, and I'm going to be your program advisor should you come along on our journey to London, which means I will be taking care of you from the minute you start your journey all the way until you get on that plane before handing you off to our 20+ team of awesome folks in London.
Great. And then Alex, would you like to get started?
Great, yeah, I'll get started. So my name is Alex Nichols. I'm an institutional relations manager for Sea Education Association, or as I will refer to us as SEA, as I talk about our program. So give me just a second, and I'm going to share my screen. Can everyone see this?
No, we're not able to see your screen yet.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. So not sharing?
Nope.
Apologies, give me a second. Is it working now?
Yes, terrific.
Yes, okay, perfect.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
I actually just got a new computer and changed over. So anyway, so I'm Alex. I'm with Sea Education Association. I am based in Portland, Maine, but we are based as an organization in Woods Hole, Massachusetts. So it's on Cape Cod. So we are an organization that's focused on teaching, learning, and research related to the ocean, marine and maritime environments. So as I said, our programs take place in Woods Hole, as well as at sea aboard one of our tall sailing research vessels, as you can see in this picture here. So our programs are they have an interdisciplinary curriculum and are combined with hands-on sailing. So all of the programs are multidisciplinary in nature and focus on critical environmental issues relating to climate change, sustainability, biodiversity, human impacts on the environment, and environmental justice. So we offer a range of programs, including undergraduate study away programs, but the program, we have a specific program for gap year students in January admit, so I'll talk about in a second. But first, I just want to show you a quick video so you can get kind of a visual of what the ship is like. So this fall, the program is called Climate and Society, and it will take place in New Zealand. So all of our programs start with a 6-week onshore component in Woods Hole. And then this program is followed by a 1-week onshore component in New Zealand, and then 6 weeks at sea. So we'll be sailing around New Zealand with different port stops along the way. So this program is focused on finding solutions relating to problems brought about by climate change. And it looks at, as I said earlier, it's multidisciplinary, so looking at scientific data, social and political institutions, cultural practices, etc., to learn more about how changing climate impacts human lives and societies. And the idea of looking at how to build strategies for global climate resilience and adaptation. So during the onshore component, that initial part in Woods Hole, you will work on developing your semester-long research project. So that's looking at climate, humanities literature, and designing a plan for your original research. So you'll discuss a range of climate-related issues, including human migration and displacement, coastal and urban resilience, environmental justice, and sustainable design. So then the sailing component will begin in Auckland, and that's where you'll discuss climate change issues with local solutions with marine scientists and community leaders in New Zealand. You'll learn about coastal erosion strategies in New Zealand and explore the effects of climate change while you are sailing along the way. So this program does have 18 semester hours. We're through Boston University, where we are accredited through, and you'll take classes in oceanography, policy, and history. So our onshore component, this is our campus here in Woods Hole. So this is where you start taking classes and you live and work together in our campus cottages. So we're on Cape Cod in Woods Hole. It's a small village on the Cape, and we are close by to beaches. And it's a scientific community with other research institutions as well. And so we are an independent organization, but we work closely with other research organizations. So these are some of the cottages that you live on. Our campus also includes labs, classrooms, a lecture hall, library, student lounge, faculty and staff offices. So these cottages host 10 to 12 students each. So that's where you'd be living, similar to like a dorm or off-campus lodging. So then you go to sea, and that's where you're setting sail together, and you are fully going to be a member of the ship's crew. You'll be sailing on the SSV Robert C. Siemens. So SSV means sailing school vessel. So you are both a student and a crew member. So the ship holds up to 40 people, and that is up to 25 students. So throughout the C component, you are applying your academic coursework and training on shore to the sailing voyage. So the student cohorts are joined by about 10 to 14 faculty and crew. These include the faculty members who are teaching the courses, chief scientists, captain, and mates and assistant scientists. So the ship operates 24/7. So students are broken up into different watches where you work closely, and you will be assigned to either working on deck, working in the lab, but like I said, it's 24/7. So all students will all have the opportunity to take part in every different type of watch. So no sailing experience is required. You will be learning from the scientists and the mates about all the responsibilities needed on the ship. And then once a day while you're at sea, the entire ship comes together for classes, readings, presentations, or navigational cruise track updates with the captain. And so really one of the major components of this program is research and field research. So these are various different research themes throughout our programs, but you will be working on your research projects throughout your time there. Both for your oceanography class as well as your history and policy. So just a few things to go over. I mentioned this already, but these are some important things I want to go over again. We have up to 25 students at a time. We do review our applications on a rolling basis until the program is full. We do get students who have a wide variety of interests, who are not necessarily just interested in sciences, but interested in humanities as well. And like I said, you don't have to know how to sail, and the majority of our students do not. When we talk to them, I think it's between 2/3 and 3/4 of our students have never been on a sailboat before. So we do review them on a rolling basis. But our final application deadline is August 1st, although I would encourage students to apply before then, especially if you're looking for financial aid. Our financial aid priority deadline is May 15th. So the admissions process includes the online application, which is really just some biographical data, proof of acceptance to Hamilton, original essay, so just talking about your interest in the program, a writing sample, and that doesn't have to be something new, that can be something you wrote for class before. We need your high school transcript and 2 references. And then once that's all submitted, we have all students have an interview with us, and that's just to talk a little bit more about your application and go over any questions you might have. As I mentioned, there's a priority financial aid deadline, but we do still review financial aid applications after that. So we do have some need-based aid and certain scholarships that apply to certain groups of students. But we do award over $1 million every year in need-based aid. So that's all I have. Here's my email. And again, my name is Alex Nichols. And one thing I forgot to add is we have someone who is our alumni relations coordinator who was a Hamilton Jan admit and did our program. I don't know how many years ago now, maybe 4 years ago now. But she loves talking about her experience. So if you ever do want to connect with her, you could just let me know and she can talk to you about what her time was like at sea.
Great. Thank you very much, Alex. We're going to turn it over now to Christina, who will present about the Arcadia program in London.
All righty, let us get on board, friends. Let's go on a vacation. So I'm Christina. I use she, her set of pronouns once again. Welcome. So Arcadia is an amazing institution. We're actually one of the first folks to ever launch a study abroad program in the US, beginning right after World War II with Beaver College, who was our predecessors before we became known as Arcadia University. And our London Center was actually one of our original centers overseas, hosting students. So you will definitely be well cared for. Our London Center today is one of our busiest centers and hosts our largest number of staff. And so we really are excited for you to think about what a semester in London could look like. Why London, friends? Well, you can earn a full semester of transfer credit to begin your spring semester in Hamilton on track. It is really important, obviously, to start your college career off well. And so we do have a variety of coursework that you can use to start your semester off right. And we will talk about coursework in a second. What is most important, of course, is that you are forming those deep connections with your fellow cohort members, as well as other students studying in London, in Princess Elizabeth House, where you would live. We not only host our Hamilton Jams, we also host our Brandeis Mid-Years, who we do hold a sister program with. So that's like twice the fun, and you can meet like twice the people. It's great. Additionally, of course, you can increase your independence and gain important life skills like cooking, budgeting, navigating public transport, which is a major part of living in a mega city. And so I really think that if you do choose this program, it is going to be an awesome experience for you to start your adult life off right. Also, if you have been to London, which some of our Hamilton Jans have been, this is a great way for you to kind of move away from tourist town into a little bit more thinking about what living in London could mean for you once you have graduated from Hamilton as well. Sometimes I have seen a couple of Jans come back to me, in particular this last couple semesters. So you might come even hang out with me as an older student as well. But this can be your first taste into what living in London could look like for you. You will take classes at our Arcadia Center, which is located very centrally. The nearest tube station is called Holborn. If you want to look that up on Google Maps very quick. It is located in the Bloomsbury neighborhood and is a very quick 10-minute walk to things like the British Museum, Covent Garden, West End, and Trafalgar Square. If you are a theater person, of course, you would know the West End. It is also about a 30-minute walk to Buckingham Palace. So we know that there's a lot of really cool stuff happening with the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III. So, of course, there are going to be some things in London dedicated to his ascension, as well as honoring the memory of Queen Elizabeth II. So if you are a history buff, as many of my Jans are, you might want to go check some of those things out. Also, fun fact, if you were on a budget, a lot of the museums in London are free, like the British Museum. So there's a lot of really cool things for you to do in between classes as well. In the center, we do host the classrooms where you would be, of course, taking your coursework. We do also host a writing center if you're having any academic challenges. We host a student lounge for you to kiki with other students, not just in your program, but also older students as well, if you just need some advice and tips about how to navigate college successfully. There's also a computer lab and staff offices. I did see a question in the Q&A about printers and laptops. Yes, I would encourage students to bring their personal laptop with them, as I would for any US institution. No, do not need to bring a printer. A lot of the assignments that you would be doing are going to be online, and you would turn that in online. But if you do need to print things, our computer lab does host some printers, as you can see in that top photo right there. And even if you have some tech issues, there are computers in the computer lab for you to use as well. There's also some on-site support for academics, student health and safety, etc. So if you're like anything from I'm sad to I'm confused and I don't know who to talk to for my coursework, you can stop by our student life office and ask someone for help. They are always happy to help you. So as I was mentioning, those courses, the study part of study abroad, you would be taking 4 courses, which is equivalent to 16 credits at our London Center. You do have the option to replace one of those 4 courses with a course at a UK university for a supplemental fee. That UK university would be City University of London. Jans typically would take political science courses over there if they're choosing to take one of those courses. Showcasing the Nation is your required writing seminar, which is a great introduction to college academics. not only are we going to host like classes where you're sitting in the classroom and learning from your professor, but you also get to go out on excursions on most of our courses. So not only do you get to say, okay, I am learning about theories of photography, but I also get to go out and take photos. We do have, for our theater people, we do have a theater course where you would go out and see shows as well. So there are loads of ways for you to take what you are learning in the classroom and apply it to your real life in London. Our classes, I'll show you at the end of my presentation, are going to be listed on our page with their syllabi, and a syllabus just means all of the things that you are expected to do in the course and gives you a really great idea of how the course is structured as well. Faculty are really great researchers in their fields. In particular, Professor McGuire, who does teach Showcasing the Nation, is incredibly passionate about that class. And he really wants to make sure that you get a comprehensive deep dive into London culture. So get hype, our faculty are cool. There are details on our website about credit transfer. I will also drop that link in the chat at the end of my chit chat today. If we're looking at housing, you will reside in Princess Elizabeth House, which is located in Highgate. I've heard the Beckhams live up there. A couple of my students have seen some celebrities. So if you see a celebrity, you let me know. It is within walking distance of public transport. And if you are an outdoorsy person, the Hampstead Heath, which is very equivalent to, say, Central Park in New York City, is a great space for you to get the outdoorsy feel in London, which is a mega city. I actually really love Highgate for everyone because it's a really great way for you to transition into living in a mega city if you've never done so before. It's a little less intense than Central London if being in a mega city is a little bit anxiety prone for you. So it is a really great place to unwind at the end of the day. It is a very short walk to the village itself, where there's loads of great restaurants, great places to shop for food. There's an awesome little vegetable shop, which when you come talk to me for your advising call, we'll go over. It's lit. And of course, convenience stores, if you're not like the best cook, which is okay. So you can see here the dining area and a sample bedroom over in Princess Elizabeth House. It is a 35 to 45 minute commute to the London Center via the tube. Be not afraid. We will take you the first couple of times to the London Center and help you navigate the subway system. So do not fret. We also will give you a lot of really great resources when you're starting to use that on your own as well. Housing is going to be dormitory style full apartments. So what does that mean? That means that there's about 4 to 5 rooms in your enclosed apartment. Your apartment will have a kitchen in it, and it will have shared but private bathrooms. What does that mean, Christina? What that means is that there are full doors for you to shut to have that privacy with your showers and with your toilet. But what the great thing is that you can also share that apartment with other Jans like yourself. Bedding and towel is provided. So if you see on the bed on the left, that is a very clear picture of a standard bed over in Princess Elizabeth House. On the right, my friend decided to bring a blanket from home, which is a great idea if that always brings you comfort. There are free laundry facilities on site as well, so do not overpack, mix and match. But there is no meal plan. So if you are a good cook, this is your time to shine. Some of my Jans last year started a baking club between them and some of the Brandeis students. So if you are a baker, let's go. Let's keep on this tradition. And if you're not so like how to cook, if you're like, I don't know about this, this is a great time for you and your folks, especially to share in learning how to cook, which is a key adult skill, y'all. But if you are ever kind of worried about something, or you're sad, or you need to talk to someone, there are resident life assistants on site ready to help you with anything that you might need as well. You can see some other pictures, particularly if you want to pay attention to on the top and the left, those are our kitchens. And you can see it's a really great view at a very peaceful area over in Princess Elizabeth House. So some student life things. Excursions are the name of the day. So we do offer both free and paid excursions. So some of our free excursion examples would be like trips to our markets, the Black Cultural Archives, and the local cat cafe, which had a wait list of 45 people last semester. I told them to open up another section of it. It's going to be great. There are also some staff-led day trips to places like Stonehenge and Salisbury, and some paid weekend trip options to Wales and Edinburgh as well. And you can also travel for yourself. So if you wanted to take a local day trip to say Oxford or Bath, if you're a Bridgerton fan, have at it. Or if you wanted to take a longer trip around Western Europe, this is a great time for you to do so. And if you don't know where to go, ask our staff. You can always drop into our office and ask questions about what to do and how to have fun. In terms of health and safety, international health insurance is included in your program costs. So you will be covered in the case of any sickness or injury. It also includes mental health support. We know that that's really important for students. So if you would like to set up therapy appointments, we do have not just me, your program advisor, but also our student wellness advisor as well. Akeisha is an amazing, amazing woman, and her son just finished his first year in college this year. So if there are any families on the line, she knows exactly what you're going through as well. So she is a really great resource for you as you are thinking about what your experience in London could look like. She also works with students who need any housing accommodations or academic accommodations. So really great person to talk to. There is 24/7 health and safety support through International ISOS and Arcadia support staff. And we will do multiple, not one, multiple orientations, because you get to hang out with me over the summertime and with our London team. And then we will wrap that all together when you arrive as well. There is airport pickup and transfer on arrival day. Parents, if you are looking to come drop your student off, we will have the ability for you to come with your student, and then you will go to our parent orientation that we have for you available. And there is, what's great is that there's a designated Hamilton program advisor as the first point of contact. So that way, not only are we getting you ready for London, but we're also getting ready for you to transition back to Hamilton in the springtime. So some roundup facts, friends, are that the deadline is going to be May 15th. If you click the link, if you want to take a snap of the link, you will be able to apply right on our website. You'll fill out a short application, and then what I would need from you afterwards is for us to have a chit chat. I always like to have a chit chat with our students and or their families. Families, you can also visit me separately as well, to explain what the expectations for the program are going to be, and so you fully understand what you would be committing to. Our full program deadline is on the 15th, so which we would need you to have your call with me, and we would need you to submit your high school transcript. So super, super easy process. And if you have questions about it, please always come ask. The program cost is going to be $18,550, which does include tuition, your housing, your pre-departure and on-site advising and support, your orientation, and your health insurance. But again, there would be that supplemental fee if you choose to enroll in a City University of London course. Need-based scholarships are available. We do also accept 529 plans, and we accept any scholarship. We are still Arcadia University. So if you find extra scholarships, I'm always happy to discuss with you about those. And I have budget conversations with students all the time. So if you are concerned about finances, also please come talk to me. Like, we can have a good fun time. Our program dates are as listed on the screen. You can see that students will be departing from the US on September 3rd, 2023, and our program will conclude on December 16th. Some folks do decide to continue to gallivant around Western Europe for Christmas holidays, but some folks want to return back to the US at that time. I support all things, so we can definitely talk about what your holiday plans would be. You can see my email on the screen. I am available for both open office hours on Fridays and scheduled advising calls throughout the week. So just let me know how you would like to get in contact with me, and we can work things out. I am going to show you what our website looks like. So if you are interested in applying, you would just hit this lovely shiny apply button. This is going to be our hub, our hub for most information that you would want to know about the program. So I am going to go ahead and throw that in the chat if folks do have any questions. Also, if you wanted to know a little bit more about how courses would transfer back to Hamilton, this is a lovely page for you to check out. I know it says fall 2021. I promise it's been updated. So I really, really thank everybody for your time, and I hope to see you soon with questions. Take care, friends.
Great. Thank you very much, Christina. I'm not sure the chat links went to everybody, though. I think it came just to the panelists. So if you're able to,
let's go ahead and redo that.
Change that.
For sure. Thanks for letting me know.
Sure. And Devin, let's turn it over to you for School for Field Studies.
Perfect. Hopefully you can see our logo right here. So we're
Yes,
the School
looks
for
good.
Field Studies. We were founded shortly after the very first Earth Day. Earth Day is coming up on the 22nd, by a group of individuals who believed that the best thing that they could offer the world was to educate the next generation of environmental leaders. And they believed that the best way to do that would be to get college students out into the field, into some of the most biodiverse and dynamic ecosystems where they could learn field skills, how to practice good science, and then conduct research that would have a lasting impact on the world. So these are our 10 locations around the world. Anything the Earth offers, we try to reflect in our academics. So we're there in Bhutan in the Himalayas. So you're doing a mountain ecology program. You are there in the Turks and Caicos. So you're on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. We're doing a marine studies program. Say in Panama and Bocas del Toro in this archipelago, tropical island biodiversity. So if you're interested in biology, environmental science, environmental studies, ecology, sustainability, you have these 10 ecosystems of which to decide upon. So one of the ways that SFS is unique is that you would not be living in this sprawling metropolis. You would actually be living at these sort of intimate centers or research centers around the world. So you would probably be with 20 to 24 other students. It's not a Hamilton specific program, so likely you're with students from American colleges from across the country. If you want to get a good idea of who the top sending schools will be for this coming fall, it's Bates, College of the Holy Cross, Williams, Colorado College, and then the University of Michigan. So there's some geographic diversity there, diversity of sending schools. And we open up to Jan students, these gap fall semester students from 3 schools, Hamilton, Middlebury, and Colorado College. So chances are you would also be with students who are in a very similar setting as you are. So what makes these centers tick? First off, there's the center director. She's essentially in charge of all aspects of the program. 3 PhD faculty teaching the 3 core courses. The student affairs manager is in charge of health, safety, and security of our students. They are sort of our superheroes. If they feel like the student body is feeling a little homesick, they wake up at 5 in the morning and they bake cookies. But that afternoon, if there's a student with a twisted ankle or also needs an EpiPen because they are having an allergic reaction to something that they didn't even realize they were allergic to, that's when our student affairs manager will also step in. And then the support staff really makes everything run. That's like the kitchen, anyone who's like maintaining the centers. So it's a very close-knit residential feel to this program. So the 24 students are all living in close proximity to each other. And very often the faculty, the center director, and staff are all living there as well. So it's nice because if you're one of those students who doesn't like to raise their hand in this like 200-person auditorium, there's lots of unscheduled moments to discuss the program or the ecological research, sitting across from your ecology professor at breakfast, say. Each center has sort of a unique vibe. As you can see, Panama has that nice pool there. Costa Rica, the land of Pura Vida, has these hammocks. Turks and Caicos, you're right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. Within 30 seconds, you can be in the water. Kenya, that is Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in all of Africa at 20,000 feet, right at your doorstep. Australia, way off in the rainforest, the Daintree, oldest primary rainforest in the world. Cambodia near Siem Reap, a very urban center. Peru in the Amazon, and then finally our newest program in Patagonia, Chile. So what we try to do is at least half your credit hours, this would be the classroom. So we have a student here who's doing a coral transect, probably monitoring the effects of coral bleaching as a result of climate change. Or this would be your classroom here in Cambodia, observing elephant populations in the wild. So this would be the core of any SFS program is very similar. Here's a semester. You're taking these 3 core courses. Usually 2 are very like ecology or natural resource management focused. The 3rd course would be much more of like a political economy class. All that leads up to the final 4 weeks, which would be your capstone research course. There's also a very short language culture course on any of the programs where English is not the primary language, so minus Australia and TCI. But we're really known for our research, and that the most common question I get is, do I need to have this field research experience to do this program? No. Most of our students have not become fluent in the 15 official languages of Bhutan and then explored the kingdom doing research. So everyone is coming in at the same level. But the benefit is you have these faculty who are working with the students one-on-one to pursue this research project. The research projects are almost always based off local community environmental needs, and then is presented back to the community. So your research is has a very like reciprocal impact as well to the science. Admissions, it's rolling admissions. I'll say right now for the fall, Bhutan, Patagonia, and Chile, and Panama are all nearing wait list. We'll probably be adding Australia, Costa Rica, and Turks and Caicos to that wait list in the next couple of weeks. So the deadline is May 1st, but I would apply before then. Almost all the programs for us usually do fill. Part of that is that we try to keep capacity to around 24. It's just too difficult to deliver a quality field lecture if you have too many students. We do look for an AP Bio or Environmental Study Sciences 4 or 5 score, or 1 college level course in a relevant subject, such as ecology. And then there's 4 essays that you do with us, and there's the Hamilton approval form. We can help you with that. We don't require references. And basically, my hint, if this is a program for you, would be to start the application really soon. So I'll give you a very quick rundown of most of our programs and what they're like. Australia is our most remote location by far. In the Daintree rainforest, the oldest primary rainforest in the world. Students who come back from it, the word they use most often to describe it is prehistoric. You'll see ferns that rise up 40 or 50 feet in the air, moss the size of your 2 hands put together. It's our most rural center in that you're a 20-minute bus ride from a town of 1,000 people. So you're a 20-minute bus ride from a town that has half the population of the undergraduate population at Hamilton College. But I believe it's the closest we have to like an ecological time machine of any of our programs. Bhutan is really interesting. You have this country that's the size and population of Vermont. It is the first carbon negative country in the world. It is this Buddhist kingdom that is slowly becoming a small scale constitutional democracy. So you're able to witness like centuries of tradition while also witnessing a country being born politically. We're one of the very few groups that are allowed into the country. And the reason we are is because we're in many ways the environmental think tank of the nation. So students will actually present their research to the Bhutanese Minister of the Interior, the Bhutanese Senate, at the end of any semester program. So you'll be able to come back to Hamilton with a semester of credits with this research topic, and you could humble brag that you had served the King of Bhutan. Cambodia is, I think of it as one of our more like spiritually butt-kicking of programs. It's very difficult. You're studying in a lot of ways how things have not gone well. You're studying deforestation, you're studying species extinction, you're studying government corruption. But at the same time, you have this hopefulness of all these community organization groups that are really trying to build a more sustainable future. So of all of our programs, this is both the most urban program. We're in Siem Reap, 200,000 people. And it's also the most social science and community focused program. So if you're interested in the environment, but you're really interested in like the human element of the environment, then I would go with Cambodia. And there's also elephants. Costa Rica is a bit like our liberal arts program. You're studying a little bit of everything on this program. It's a very interesting one if you're into sustainable agriculture. you visit, say, like the sustainable coffee farms, sustainable chocolate farms. Even on site, there's a Rainforest Alliance farm where students get their morning orange juice from. So you'll see students picking oranges, making the orange juice, and that's how they get their sort of morning vitamin C. But it's not paradise. Usually about halfway through the semester, the students break off into two factions. One believes that the orange juice is perfect just the way it is, and one believes you should add a little bit of sugar, but somehow they make it work. Kenya to me is like the heart of SFS. We've been there since the late 80s. The field staff are unlike any other staff that we have. They're warm and welcoming. We did a site visit of 20 very, very serious buttoned up faculty there right before COVID. They were only there for about 5 or 6 days, and I would say 2/3, 3/4 of them were actually in tears when it was time to leave. They really built that kind of connection to the program. We're going to be studying endangered species on the Kenya program, and you'll be going to some of the great national parks of East Africa. And of course, this is the community. The Maasai welcomes every semester a group by doing traditional dances and slaughtering a goat for a goat roast. Panama, you'll want to apply really soon for this one. It's surf and turf. If you wake up and you head left for 30 seconds, you're in the Caribbean Ocean. If you wake up, you head right for 30 seconds, you're in the Panamanian rainforest. You're getting lots of different ecosystems. Peru is the Amazon. Again, one of the really tough programs. I think of this program as like the edge of exploration, in that students on any given week will actually find insects that have never been cataloged. We had a student a few years ago, a Hamilton student, in fact, who published for the very first time demonstrating the antimicrobial effects of tree ferns. So in a world where every answer is readily available to you, I think the Peru program is the one where you get to actually discover something. 2 more left. Tanzania's wildlife. Again, you get to go to the great national parks of East Africa, the Serengeti, Lake Manyara, and Ngorongoro Crater. The last time I was there, about 10 minutes before you hit the center, we had to stop on the road. Not deer, not turkeys. There were giraffes and zebras crossing the road. That's how up close and personal the wildlife is. And then finally, Turks and Caicos. This is the one where if you want full-on marine 24/7, if you want a classroom experience like this scuba diver right there at the bottom of the screen, this is the one for you. We went out there a few years ago. Each time we went out, we saw sharks that were about 6 feet long, raised with a wingspan 5 to 6 feet long. The water is so pristine in so many areas that you see clear to the bottom 60 feet. Yet these coral formations rise up almost to the surface, so you feel like you're floating over these polychromatic mountain ranges. And if the air is just right, and you're up at the right hour, you can even see and hear whales in the distance. So that is what we do, and I'll stop sharing now because I think I hit right on time. But I'll put here in the chat, there's a quick Vimeo of some of the stuff we do, and then also my contact information if you want to hit me up.
Great. Thank you very much, Devin. So all of these programs are wonderful opportunities for our JANs to pursue really exciting fall opportunities. And I think what's really exciting is that each JAN gets to choose the experience in the fall that they feel will be the best fit for them. So these 3 fall programs are all of our partner programs, but we also have JANs every year who are doing different experiences and are having different independent experiences. And we certainly will support JANs with those experiences as well. And again, I'm happy to talk and connect with any of you after the program today to talk about some fall options as you're continuing to explore all those different opportunities. But we'd love to turn it over now to questions. We have a little bit of time, so I see we do have some questions in the Q&A. All of you on the other end are welcome to submit additional questions through the Q&A, and we'll get through as many as we possibly can. I see one question in the Q&A that someone has asked, are roommates assigned? Can you all talk about the roommate assignment process, if there are roommates in the experience in your programs?
Yeah, so I guess I'll kick it off. In London, we do have students fill out what is called a housing preferences form. That is very similar to what students at almost any college in the US fills out, with preferences about your lifestyle, things like that. If you already know another Jan, you can request that person. That person must also request you in a mutual match, and we will do our best to try and put you together. If you do not request that by the 15th, no big. Keep in mind that you all still live with each other. So you can always visit another Jan friend, even if they're not your direct roommate, because everybody live in Princess Elizabeth House, and Princess Elizabeth House ain't that big.
For us, roommates are assigned, and usually the quarters are such where you will definitely get to know each other well.
For us, roommates are assigned as well, but for our programs, they're usually in only 2 cottages while on campus that are right next to each other. And then once on the ship, you are assigned a bunk, but everyone is on the ship together. So.
Great, thank you. Christina, I think this next question is aimed for you, which is whether Hamilton Jans are guaranteed admission for the London program and whether there is a time pressure to apply.
There is not a time pressure to apply before the deadline. Please apply by the deadline. I do give about a week grace period for folks, but I'm not like, grr, must apply. I can wait. So are you guaranteed admission? No, but if you have my grades, I got you. And your grades that got you into college and that you worked so very hard for are generally enough for me.
Thank you. And Christina, I think this is another one for you. A student has asked, or somebody has asked, what cell phone plans do you recommend for students while abroad for the semester in London with Arcadia?
I'm gonna put that on hold because our London team goes over that in great detail over the summertime. The thing that you need to know now is that you do have an option, and something that you and your family could start discussing now is whether or not you would like to keep your US number or you would like to switch to a British number. British numbers allow you to talk to folks, which I failed to mention. You do have access to clubs and sports at a UK university, University College London, which is one of top universities in London, so you can meet top students in their prime, which is great. But those students may want to contact you using a British number and not an overseas number. But if you keep your US number, it is obviously easier for you to talk to folks and family in the US. So up to you, we can discuss that in an advising call.
Another question, which I think might actually be for me, is whether a student will have access to an ALEX advisor or Hamilton's counseling services while abroad. The answer to that is that students are assigned ALEX advisors before they arrive to Hamilton, but you won't actually start meeting with your ALEX advisor and having these regular conversations until you become an enrolled Hamilton student. And students are considered enrolled Hamilton students when they arrive in January at the start of the spring semester. I'm not seeing any other questions in the Q&A, but we can certainly wait a minute or so if people are frantically typing their questions. We can certainly wait a minute and see if any other questions come in the Q&A. Here we go. Oh, Alex just put something in the chat. So unfortunately, we don't have any other questions in the Q&A. So I am actually going to share my screen so that you all can see our partner program contact information. So if you all would like to take this down, you are more than welcome to reach out to any of our 3 presenters. If you would like follow-up information, if you'd like to connect about their application process, or if you'd like to learn more specifics about their programs that unfortunately they just didn't have time to present today, you are more than welcome to be in touch with any of them. So I'll leave this up for a minute. And in the meantime, we actually do have another question. How many students are usually in the London program, including students from other universities? Christina, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, I sure can. So generally we have a vacillating number of folks. I would say last year, how big was that cohort? My goodness. I want to say about 35. I have an Ivy League degree, but I can't do math. But I would say that generally a mixed cohort, which I think of all of you as Branhams, because there's like double the friends, double the fun, right? Was about maybe like 50 or so folks. So not a huge amount of folks, but enough for you to make at least one friend.
Great. Another question that I see is whether the price of the Arcadia program is deducted from the Hamilton College total cost, knowing that students are away for part of the year. So the answer to this question is actually that students who are JANs do not begin paying Hamilton tuition, room and board, and fees to Hamilton College until the spring semester when you arrive in January. Again, you're not considered an enrolled Hamilton student until the spring semester, which means that any fall experiences that you choose to pursue, you would pay those costs directly to the programs. If you are receiving financial aid, you are eligible for Hamilton financial aid beginning in the spring semester. Another question that I see is whether each program offers the same amount of transferable college credit to Hamilton. The answer to this question is yes. If you pursue any of these 3 partner programs, as long as you are successfully completing the academic work in these programs, you will earn a full semester's worth of credit, which means that you will be awarded 4 college credits. As Hamilton experiences such that every class is awarded 1 credit, and you're required to graduate with 32 credits, which is typically why you are earning 4 credits per semester over the course of your time at Hamilton. So it looks like we are just about out of questions in the Q&A. So
you have one that I think I clicked on. Dear Nikki, are you allowed to enroll in another college in the fall before attending Hamilton?
So this question is a little bit nuanced because students are not able to enroll as full-time degree-seeking students in another college or university. But we do have students every year who take college classes at a college or university that is closer to their hometown. Mostly these are community colleges. They then work with our registrar's office and then work to transfer that credit of what they've earned at those other colleges to Hamilton. And you can certainly be in touch with our registrar's office for more information about that process. And I think that wraps up our Q&A. So I think we're going to wrap things up here. Again, you are more than welcome to be in touch with any of our 3 presenters today, or you're certainly welcome to be in touch with me directly. If you have any additional questions about your fall options, about the January program at Hamilton, or about anything that's on your mind as you are continuing to consider our really exciting opportunity about joining the Hamilton community. Congratulations again to all of you on your admission to Hamilton. We are so excited at the possibility of seeing you on campus in the spring. We wish you all the best of luck as you are finishing up your senior year and as you are making your college decisions. But thank you so much for being here this evening. Thank you so much to our 3 panelists. Thank you for your great presentations. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.